What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Thorp TV and Thorp Tube on Kick. I am attempting to get to my little field. I haven't been back here in a while. Back at the apartment. We're having a little chat. Oh, this has thorns. All right, we're gonna try to. Ow. Okay, we're gonna try to get back here. Get off her Wi-Fi. Yeah, we gotta deal with all that. Oh, that's a big spider. Hi, YouTube people. Long time no see. Hey, people. Oh my God, it's totally overgrown. Looks like I'm not gonna be able to get back there. Okay. We can just have a little chat over here. Oh, there's a bug on my phone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today's little Copesino or culture toward the later end for just different reason, but particularly for this channel and moving forward. But till then, oh my God, you guys, you see Grace is doing IRL streaming and she looks happy, and I'm like, clap, and I clap, and I clap. Honestly, even though we're starting off with a like IRL stream and we will eventually move into more a desktop stream, and I believe it or not, I will get involved. I am actually involved in the next stream, or really, part or the other half of this video very much closely. So that's why I said in the beginning of this particular take that we, moving forward with the channel, I will still be covering, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So first off, the title of the name was like the video diary of a lying blank episode 1. I'm like, unironically, that's actually a pretty good name, and Grace can keep up that name. If Gracie, if you're listening, maybe tweak the title just a little bit. You got something going on right there. Just have like a random like, oh dude, if she does like a oh my God, and like this and like that, oh my God. Oh, trust me, this is gonna be a heck of a video.
Yes, D-Dog roasted the shit out of you. I want to watch that. Maybe we'll watch that when we get to the studio. We need to have fun. It's time to have fun, to like feel normal. No, we have not made peace with Jacinda. That's part of what we have to go into. Just tuned in. I see Grace is finally living in a tree, just as I predicted years ago. Oh, and by the way, my landlord here is down to do content with me because he wants me to help him set up a podcast. And he said, I'll pay you for your time. And I said, you don't have to pay me, just let me stream me talking to you and helping you set it up. Because good content for me, and it'll be good for you to get practice in front of being in front of a camera. So he said yes. So Wednesdays after 4 p.m. is what he told me. I have never seen a truly self-critical woman. Only women.
So I'm pretty sure this wasn't the first time that's been said, but I'm pretty sure it was said on Deadman. If Mr. Deadman is watching, please correct me, but I'm pretty sure it was said on his stream. Yes, Grace is starting another show with her landlord, which should be interesting because I did ask her on that front alone, right? And truthfully, that would be interesting content, mostly because, let's be very, very real. I think the Thorp needs something to help diversify their content, at least for now. But then again, as I did say early in the video, interesting stuff maybe in the development as we currently speak. And I do hope that they do get pushed forward. Whether or not certain parties want to get involved, I think that the idea that later on would be pushed for would be interesting. In this situation, I think with the landlord getting involved, which pretty funny. I'm pretty sure it's actually the studio landlord and not the apartment landlord, which I believe are two separate people. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case for now. But let's move on.
Meow, meow. I'm just gonna clickbait. I'm just choosing a picture to clickbait with. What about this one? Is this a good thumbnail? I think it's pretty good. Oh, okay, hold on. Alright, let's use this. Save image. I'm gonna cake the makeup on like crazy. I look so bad.
Now this should be the end of the first part of the daily diary of a you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Now, from here onwards, the stream takes a very different direction because I did initially believe that we were going to have a struggle session. Now, I should remind, if I didn't say, I do apologize, that I was stream sniping this. I don't know what compelled me to stream snipe it, but I started to stream snipe right at this, like I believe in the 5-minute mark of the stream. Again, I don't know what compelled me. Go check out that stream because that should give you indication of my raw feelings, right? But I more or less got out of my bed, saw the stream, and just like boom, let's get going. Just let's get going. Let's stream. Let's see what we can do, what we can make. Because I felt that in that moment, we need to, right? We need to just push ourselves, right? And I'm happy that I made that decision rather than like lay in bed and take a nap. I don't know if it was some weird, I don't know, like divine nature or some type of utter force in my life, but something just told me to get up and start recording a stream and just move forward and just go with it. Because trust me, I didn't regret my decision, right? I 100% did not regret my decision. And I think because of that decision and moving forward, you will see me a little bit in the stream, but that's more toward the middle end segment because there is 2 points where I do pop in. I'm not the only one. Ava the G pops in and Snafu pops in as well. So, and John Gultz pops in as well. This whole stream is nuts. As I said, this whole stream is very nutty, very very funny. If you know what I'm saying. But let us move on into the abyss, into the unknown.
Back. Hopefully, Kick comes back. Okay. Yeah, Kick is working now. Okay. I'm just gonna delete that Kick stream. Ooh, you can make Kick stream subscriber only now. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna delete that VOD though. Okay. Alright. White trash party. Let's go. Alright. Dad, you wanted the link. Here you go. Hi, Rini. Yes, I'm back. I am back. Okay. Let's pop the chat out. Yeah, Dad, I posted the link. Just scroll up like two comments. It's right there. I am streaming on both YouTube and Kick. I'm gonna turn multi-streaming on for Kick. You're not Rob Nor. That's insane.
No, but I think Rob is someone.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second, though. Hold on a second.
You can review that if you
We
want.
have three. We have 4 people backstage, and it's been a while since I've done a panel stream.
Bring them up, Grace. But listen,
don't tell me what to do.
Listen.
No, don't tell me what to do. You can ask politely.
What? Listen. Good, see, good. But Rob Knorr made $100. Why don't you make some fucking money putting me down?
Yeah, you know why I don't? I've done that before. Literally, nobody donates because they're like,
don't
they
say
actually,
that.
They
Just
actually like your content.
Do it.
Surprise.
Do it. They love it. Everyone here is. If you're not into, hey, here's a news flash. Everyone in chat here is kind of into BDSM. How else could you stand watching us?
That's true.
It's continuously doming and being dommed, right? No one can figure it out. It's fascinating.
Now hang on a second. Okay,
all of you have been in a.
Okay, so we've got Tough Guy backstage. We've got Ben Thorp. We've got Tough Guy, who is from the Chaotic Truth streams and is a pimp, or so he claims. We've got Lolcow Rejects, which is OPC Don. We've got Snafu Snaps, who wants to confront my dad about saying that pedophilia is okay, or so he claims. And we have Spud. All right, who do we want first? Just say it in the chat. Say one name. Say one name.
Yeah, when I meant that this stream was crazy, this stream was pretty crazy for the most part. Obviously, I think some of the people in this channel should know who Snafu is. Ava the G, I've spoken about her. The other guy, I literally just heard the name, I just can't remember it right now. Apparently I was told that he was part of like a little bit of the LA arc as well, and that he tried to pimp out Grace. That's wild in itself. And with Ava the G, no, I already said, and then obviously Lolcow Reject, or known as OPC Don, who's a big time thorp orbiter, right? So yeah, a lot of, and obviously there's me. There's me. You know, we can't forget about the important person, and that's OPC Don. We can't forget about OPC Don. Now, if I do skip around certain segments throughout the stream, it's just because there's a lot to go through, and I already kind of cover a lot of this while I was streaming. So to me, it's like not really. Kind of like, again, if you want to watch certain parts of the stream, go watch it. Or I mean, certain part of the video or whatever. You know what I mean? Go to my stream or go directly to here. We are gonna skip certain parts. We're not really skip, but more like we're gonna at least clip 1 or 2 of everything, just so this video is unnecessary long, because again, a lot was going on. I felt in a way that this was meant to be sort of a weird struggle session, and then kind of just covering like stuff that D-Dog said and a bunch of other stuff. But I don't know what it was, but for some weird reason in this particular moment, maybe it was fate, maybe it was some unknown force that had a powerful effect on everybody, that made a lot of movers and shakers come through. Maybe I'm coping, maybe that's a lot of bloated grandeur, right? Very over bloated grandeur. But nevertheless, a lot of people got themselves kind of involved. Now, why they got involved is for different reasons. Obviously, Ava wanted to confront Grace and Ben for different reasons, right? Mostly because of their past and other stuff of that particular matter. But also the whole thing about Grace being not a victim, mostly because Ava saw the first part of the stream and she was like, well, I guess why not jump on? Hey, give props to her. Honestly, I can see why some people do like Ava. Like when I was actually, because again, I was there in the forefront, and I would say that I actually kind of did enjoy that part of Ava's segment. I'm not, even though I think maybe she can even agree with me just a little bit. There was a little bit of looping in some parts, because with her and Ben and Grace, it was just a little bit of looping, and they were both kind of just over talking each other, which is I think you, hey, Ben, Ava, I think you two should just kiss. I think you two should just kiss and make up. Because I honestly was ready to tell them, like, just kiss. Just kiss. Just go on a date. I don't even care. I'll pay for the date. Probably they won't go. I mean, maybe Ben will take the offer, but I don't think Ava will. But, I'll give you guys $100, right? I'll give you $100. I'll give you $100 in neat bucks to go on a date. But nevertheless, on that in that position alone, I would even say, now in Snafu's situation again, I just want to get through to the real fact because we will be looping going through it. Snafu's situation was more or less confronting Ben about a situation that involved him saying certain things, right? Certain things that you should, given who Ben is and everything else, you know. But I'll let that be for what it's worth, right? And I think in a way, Ben likes to be kind of controversial. Now, for the pimp guy, I you know what? It is what it is. I don't know. And what about me and OPC Dunn? Now, OPC Dunn came here to talk about an offer that John Gold. Now, I'll wait until the end. I was supposed to come here with Snafu too, and was like, okay, well, why not? But things started to work out differently because in that moment, something just clicked in my brain. Because again, I was streaming this. I was streaming this. I was stream sniping this. So something else came into my mind. 2-3 different questions. And later on, I will pop in for different reasons. So let's continue onwards.
Hi. Now, Big Ben, me and you got to have a little chit chat because Grace,
finally some energy. Finally some energy.
It's in your DMs. Can we
Hold
play?
on, Snafu. Hang on a second. Can you turn your camera on?
Control your daughter, Ben.
Exactly. Fuck this
between me and Ben.
No,
Grace.
both of you need to stop. Snafu, I'm just asking. Can you turn your camera on? Is there any way we can get your camera on? Because that would be a better show with your camera on.
Snafu's a good-looking guy.
There we go. Let's go. Awesome. All right.
Yes.
I'm the moderator.
Ben.
Yes.
Right.
Now, here's the deal. I know the Native Americans have given you the name Big Ben Kicking Grace. And we need to have a chat here. Grace, pull up your DMs and play the video in there.
All right.
Do it.
Fair enough.
Ben, out of
Good way
your
to
own
start.
fucking mouth, we're going to find out the optics here.
That is a
Alright.
good way to start, brother. Love
And
it.
if you're going to make great again, me and you got issues.
All right. All right.
Let's start with the receipts. I love it, buddy. That's
All
great.
right, let's see here.
What
I'm gonna
great
share
energy this guy
screen.
has.
Let's-
Do you sympathizer?
All right.
This
This
is
is
fucking
Snafu's
screaming.
DMs. This is Snafu's DMs.
Yeah,
All right.
and by the way, will you Ben kicking Grace, a Native American in you? Grace, fuck you too. I've been DMing your little, and you're not answering DMs.
Worst
You're missing
communicator
out
ever.
on content. How
I
do you
agree.
know other people haven't DM'd you?
I'm
you little
sorry.
fucktard.
I'm sorry. I don't.
Okay. I said it's neither right nor wrong to have a pedophilic urge.
Okay, so when you say it's not wrong to have
I know what
urges,
Snafu's referring
You
to. You said is not wrong. Child is wrong. That's what you
right,
said.
it's the same fucking thing.
Okay, well,
You guys
let's
are, like,
just stick
trying
to
to
what I
say-
actually said.
You guys are trying to say, like,
Snafu,
you know,
hang on. Let him respond. I gave him the
penis-
quote.
an
Snafu,
uncircumcised penis is not a
Snafu.
penis. That's what you
I gave him the quote. Let him respond.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit! Control your daughter, Ben. This is where
Here's
you're.
a product.
Dude, what up, Grace?
All right, you know what? Both of you take a 2-minute break. Spud, Ava, and OPC would like to say hi. Hello, everybody.
Now, before we move in, yeah, one of the main reasons Snafu was there was to confront Ben about a PDF quote he made. Though shocking and very messed up, knowing the way Ben is and the way he's at. And I'm not defending Ben. I honestly was kind of very disgusted when I saw that quote. I even played it on live, the original clip. But I was just like, you know what? Knowing how Ben is, it's just messed up. And I think he was trying to imply that like PDFs is more of a mental thing rather like, and you know what I mean, right? Obviously, no matter what, it's all wrong. You can't defend it. It's just all disgusting. And Snappy was going into it really hard, high energy, full blast, and I'm just here like, damn, what's I have that kind of energy sometimes? I just had that kind of energy just in general when I'm awake. Right? Sometimes I'm just like, damn, what do I gotta do to get energies like that? And then I realize I don't feel like wasting too much. But nevertheless, even with that situation going on and how that all plays out, uh, obviously his main reason is because Safu is somebody who's very much, I'd say a lot of normal people are very much against that. And I would say that they were both kind of talking over each other, yelling at each other, and I'm just here like, yeah, you know what? It's been a while since the Dorps had any like people on their channel, like a panel. I can't remember the last time they had a panel. Maybe it's been like, I think it's been. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I really can't remember when the last time she even had a panel, but it's been a while. I know that, and I was very shocked that there was even going to be a panel thing. But I think what it was like, I think originally this was meant to be this like back and forth humorous, because it sounded like they already had their little struggle session. If you're not aware what a struggle session is in the grander Dorpersphere world, it just kind of just means they just kind of let their emotion, they argue about it. Which is very crazy. Expecting a major struggle session, and I think a lot of people wanted to kind of confront. I think Ava wanted to kind of confront Ben in the way Ben talks to Grace. Right. So let's move on. Hey.
Yes.
All right.
So go ahead.
You go first.
All right. So I want to ask about yesterday's stream with you and Mr. Deadman Grace. So I want to know, like, how bad was the whole court situation? Exactly. I know you guys can't say too much.
Oh, I can't be here for this.
Wait, Ben, real fast. Are you smoking a clover?
Am I what?
Are you smoking a clover?
No, these are these tubes we got. And what was the deal I was going to do with them, Grace? I was going to put, we were going to put spliffs in the dark ones.
Yeah. Because I smoked
think-
weed brief. Whoa, Ava.
Whoa.
Your audio is so bad. Hold on, let me turn you down.
Okay.
Now, I want to say something to Ava. Hold on a
Okay,
minute.
it
And this
should
is
be
not
better
me trying to run game on Ava. Ava, I've been shitting on you, as you know. But, like, on Ruvalo, like, you carried it. So I got to give you credit. Like, you girls always surprise me because I was like, fuck Ava. I'm on Ruby's team. And I was on your team against Ruby. I was doing that. But, like, I got to give you credit. You really carried it. And your Dalmatian dog thing was terrific. And the way that you weren't a bitch to him, it really was great. I just can't say, like, that was the height of it. That was you and him in a car was fantastic. And you could have been like just a cunt about it, like he sucks. But you were really very, very, I would say content oriented, I thought, to tell you the truth, I thought Dalmatian Dog and Lowe are actually like the perfect pair because they're the same age. They both sort of very immature. And they had a lot of tension. She was saying like, ew, ew, ew. And he was like, whatever. Right. So, but like you pulled it out. Ruby really didn't. She was like the mom. And anyways, you can now say that I'm not going to fall for you, Ben. I'm not my pussy's.
Yeah.
No, I
The
didn't.
actual crime. Yeah, when you pulled my hair.
Oh, when I touched you unwantedly?
No, there's old clips of you saying that you yanked my hair very hard.
Okay,
but anyways.
So that is that
But
when
no,
the
but my point. No,
Wait,
not
no,
even
she's gonna
because.
Grace,
wait,
you have to
hold on.
fucking moderate this cunt.
Wait,
Okay, hang on.
Sorry,
hang
I'm
on.
not doing this.
Hang on. Okay.
She's not even fucking cammed up, which doesn't make any sense.
We need to
Drive
follow.
home and call from there. Pull over to the side of the road.
We need
bitch.
to.
Like,
We
what
need
the
to
fuck?
follow this. Okay, so hang on. So, you said Ava, you committed a crime against us. She said Ben, you committed a crime against me.
Okay, we have to establish what we mean by bridge burning in terms of Ava. Yes, she burns.
Okay, all
She
right,
has burned the bridge
how
many
about this?
times.
How about this? Ava, you go first because you have impulse control. Then Dad. Ava, you say when you think the bridge was burned between the Thorps and Ava. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it obviously isn't. We're talking to her.
Okay, but just putting that
Definitely
aside.
burned.
Putting that aside, she thinks it's burned.
Okay,
Whatever.
but
When do you
it's
think
not
it got
totally
burned?
burned because here you are on our stream.
When was it burned? Yeah, but she's here ironically. Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
When do you
I
think
would
it got?
never actually collab with you. Yeah.
When do you think it got burned,
actually
Ava?
collaborating with us. So
When do you think it got burned,
sorry.
Ava?
Grace, shut the fuck up. No. You're saying you wouldn't IRL collab with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll come on and like question you about like your bullshit. Yeah, very, very occasionally.
Okay, but that's a form
I mean,
of
like it's like
collabing.
I'm not. Yeah, but we're not like regular. Like I'm coming on here to question. I don't even want to be talking about this. I wanted
All right,
to
then
ask
see you
Grace
later.
about
Go
the
away.
beginning.
I don't care. Well, you're the one who brought it up.
Well, I just
That
wanted
is
to
true.
ask
You
Grace
did bring it
about-
up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, actually, no.
I-
Schizo Spud brought it up.
Oh
That-
yeah, that
it
is true.
It's not-
Schizo
wasn't Ava.
actually brought it up.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I will
Like
take.
I just made one comment that like Ben, I do think that you're responsible. I think that you put Grace up to doing
Okay,
the
but
Ava
you're not
download
willing to,
stream,
like,
and I think that
So, for the most part of the stream was just really Ben and Ava going at each other. Like they were just going at each other, basically like an old marriage couple. If I can imagine Ava like cursing at me. It's like we're not like an old marriage couple. Meanwhile, I'm like, you guys act like an old marriage couple, fighting over the most smallest details you can imagine. Meanwhile, I'm just here like I'm just here to ask a question that I kind of wanted to ask for a long time, or really just an interest that started to develop when it's coming to the thorps and other stuff. But again, we'll get to it when we get to it, right? Because a lot of it, right, for at least a good, I would say a good 30, maybe much more of the stream, it was mostly dominated, I would at least say energy-wise, by either Snafu or Ava. Now, I understand why Ava would be the way she is. Her and Grace and Ben have a long history, especially once you involve people like Foreman or Radio Foreman or Jeremy or Ruby, SpaceX. Once you start involving other people like that, Dalmatian Dog and so on, they all have an interconnected history. And obviously, before and early on, Ben was kind of like glazing Ava, right? Like you could just tell that he was glazing, like I was on your side, and you really carried the show, the whole Rulo, and you know. And I was just like, damn, you're very much glazing very hard with Ava. Meanwhile, I'm just like, okay, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where this is coming. Now, mind you, originally Snafu did ask me to kind of come in and confront Ben about the stuff from earlier. Hopefully, I remember to cut or censor parts that need to be censored and cut for obvious reason. Now, even so, I would admit that my opinion, certain things started to change as I was sitting there because there was a nagging thing I wanted to ask. Like two different things. Now I did ask about the bridge burning, which I would take fault. I wouldn't really fault, but I was the one that asked that question because I was curious about the old ass stuff and the effect. Mostly because I wanted to know if they're going down a path of just rebuilding a lot of it, rebuilding their old bridges. With from what I can tell from Grace, she kind of said we kind of are. It's like a weird thing. Because as we speak, also in the midst of all of that, I asked about the core situation, and I was very curious about whether or not was Ben given a different offer prior to the 10,000. If you're not aware, Courtney, Grace's mom and Ben's ex-wife, wanted a settlement of $10,000, and everybody was freaking out or taking W's, and I was the dork for taking a big L. The way Ben acted during the whole Deadman Mr. Deadman stream, and the way he kind of betrayed himself, felt like he was the victory. Now I asked Grace because Ben cannot legally, and I'm going to assume the court order, so I'm going to try to be careful with my words just so nobody gets hit. That it seems like Ben was given a lower price of a settlement. Now, I don't know why they never took the settlement. Now, I think it was Ava or OPC done, but I'm pretty sure even Ava asks, like, oh, would that include the child support? Obviously, no. Child support is a very different thing than a divorce settlement, right? They are two separate things. They involve two separate procedure in different courts, and they involve a whole heap of different bureaucratic paperwork that you'd be very surprised that takes um, months to even years to even complete or even get through. I know people who didn't even get child support until they were like in the last year or two of high school. Where I met others, they got it within a matter of like just a couple of weeks or even days sometimes. Really, it takes a week. Probably take a good like 3 or 6 months at the minimum to even file and get the motion for child support, right? So I guess that burning question inside of me, because I did have two other questions down the line that me and I feel like as we get through the video, I do apologize if things starts to become sporadic and Ava starts to spur out. It's just who Ava is with that. Ain't gonna lie, acts like being there, hearing that, the little feisty. Ava's a feisty little woman. But enough of me simping or gooning because it ain't about that. But we will bring up simping because the simps do get involved, but in a very different way.
Yeah,
My
go
point
ahead.
was, you're not claiming to be a Christian. I don't. Maybe you take offense at that. I'm pretty
No,
sure that that's
no, not at all.
okay. We
Yeah.
claim to be Christians. And you can question that, of course, but like that's not what we're doing here. But what I want to say is that as Christians, we would have to say that there is nothing ever to complain about because everything that occurs in your life happens from the hand of a loving God, right? So then the question becomes, well, okay, does that mean we don't experience pain and suffering? No, we do, but we should accept it. Now, in terms of individuals' obligations to each other, you could say, yeah, I think this or that is like unfair or negotiate that. But if two people agree with something, a way of seeing it, why would a third person say like, no, I'm here? And you've been doing this, right? And
Yeah.
like a lot of maniacs on the internet go, I'm not guilty of what you're accusing me of.
Because you manipulate.
Wait a minute. You can go. The victim says he's not guilty of what you're accusing of him doing. And you, the third person, come in and all these fucking losers like you on the internet and go, no, that's not good enough. I know what's really going on. Like with using guns and like consensually meeting up to get in like a kind of gunfight, I think you run into the problem that like lives are being wasted. This was a problem in the South prior to the Civil War, but it's a very high standard. And it was argued and could be argued that dueling should be allowed. After all, it's our lives. So, this idea, but you have in fact no evidence other than your emotions and your daddy issues of any of your
evidence
claims.
of what?
But you can sit here and say that if a father raises his voice at his daughter, that's abuse. You would agree with that, right?
Wait, hold on. There's tons of evidence, Ben, that you went to jail for kicking her on stream. You swung at her on stream. You said that you made her do a naked humiliation ritual in the forest where she like stripped for you on FaceTime. Like
Yeah.
you made there's a bunch of stuff. I can't even remember everything.
Okay, but it all
depends.
depends. It all hinges on your definition. It all hinges on your definition of abuse, right?
Yeah, and then we see all the emotional abuse as well. Like, and
well,
I mean, you would argue that it's not.
Wait a minute. But wait a second. You're saying that if a woman is experiencing emotions that are negative, that means she's being abused?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, but
I'm gonna be very real with you. Very, very real with you. I think at some point in this part of the stream, I completely just blacked out. I don't know what it was. Because I felt at some point they were just looping and looping and looping, and they were going over things about the definition of abuse or emotional abuse. And I'm just here like, I don't know what's going on, but whatever is going on, it's completely just brain draining. And honestly, I'm just like, I think in a different world, I can see Ava and Ben being these weird co-hosts who are like very much from different political angles. Yeah, I can easily see like hundreds of people coming in to like maybe around like 300 or 400 per stream, maybe more people coming in to see them argue and debate on things like politics and religion and laws and ethics and morality and history and so on and so on and so on. I'm just here. And also apparently we got into this thing about Ben Shapiro because apparently I didn't even know about this. But hey, give props to Ben every so often that he doesn't like Ben Shapiro. Because I said, like, I think everybody at least go to a sort of Ben Shapiro stage. And then I think Ben even straight up said, like, yeah, it's like how everybody goes through a, almost similar to how everybody goes through a Destiny stage. And I'm like, I've never been through them, but you know what? I see your point that not everybody goes through that. But, yeah, apparently Ava was a big fan of Ben Shapiro. And from what I understand, he was traumatized of all the people. I was just very shocked. I'm like, Ben Shapiro? Really? Like, I can understand because I think a lot of people can agree that they don't. Maybe some of the people in my chat or maybe some people in my, subscriber base may not like Ben Shapiro, which is, I don't got anything. I don't like Ben Shapiro. But it was just a little shocker. A little like, I did not expect Ben Shapiro to be on my bingo card when we were talking about Ava the G. And I wasn't the only one. I guess people in my chat were also very surprised. I'm like, we live in a society. We truly live in the society. But we got to keep moving on.
And I do have more sympathy for Grace sometimes because I do think about the idea that there is a potential that you are being forced to stay in this relationship. And I know that you'll roll your eyes and say that's crazy, but that's where I'm coming from when I do have more sympathy for you. But if you are genuinely choosing to stay in this and then it's like, yeah, then I would, take away all those points and say you don't really have a right to complain at all.
Good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Then
Okay,
that's
so
all
you
I'll
can see my
leave now.
point. You can see my point. No, that's good.
It depends on what the inner workings of what's going on.
I have not really. I have been sort of like not openly sympathy begging, but I agree with you. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you later.
So do you want sympathy or do you not want sympathy? But not really my question, just out of curiosity.
I mean, I'm a woman, so I always want sympathy, but I don't think people should sympathize for me freely choosing to be in the situation I'm in. I don't think that I should be sympathized for that. In fact, I think people should say, like, at least I would say, like, it would just be healthy. It doesn't have to be super negative to say, like, you should be more grateful, more hopeful, more optimistic, less negative, less angry. It's not getting you anywhere. So
I'm gonna be
stop
real with you.
sweeping for whatever.
I'll be real with you. I wasn't expecting that answer coming out of you. So, I have
What does
two
that mean?
questions. I don't know. Okay, but here's my question. I have a question. So you guys are now probably gonna be like at a location like your apartment or something. Because I heard you guys. I think Wednesday you're supposed to have a podcast with your landlord, right, or something like that.
Yeah, he said he wants me to help him set up his podcast, and he said he'd pay me for it, and I said you don't have to pay me, just let me stream it. So.
So you will get the all right, and that's how like, is that going to be a thing for the future for now? Like, is that going to be like a permanent thing or just like a short-term deal?
Oh, short-term. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But I imagine it's gonna take maybe a couple sessions to get his podcast set up.
And then after he gets set up, it's that done and over with. He does his own thing. You guys do your own thing. Just go back to being the usual, normal stuff, I guess.
No, I like the separate screens thing. I literally think that like I can't handle IRL with my dad right now. So let's get a little bit of space. I would suggest a little bit of space.
So are you gonna do your own IRL and then like?
Well, I mean, it's like what I did today. Okay, so I ranted while I went for a walk. Then we have a panel. Okay, and then maybe I'll take off again and go do something else. I don't have a plan.
That's fair. Go with the flow. I like that. Second question. Do you remember a long time ago Lalo was asking like for the archives or something for your stuff?
Yeah.
Would there be a chance if I could get those?
Sure.
Or really?
Yeah, I haven't hidden that stuff to hide it. I just don't want people to mass report my channel, and I haven't been super careful about TOS and stuff like that, so that's why they're private.
That's fair. Yeah, because I was trying to look for a lot of you guys' earlier stuff, your earlier stream, like even your first stream, and I just kind of wanted to go from there and see the evolution of of your guys.
I would love if you did that. I would watch that. That would be a lot of fun. I would absolutely love if you did that. Just DM me your email and I'll add you as a viewer to the channel.
Deal. That's really why I came up here, because like I know Lalo lazy ass is never going to get around.
I know,
so
Candy.
I
Lalo never did shit with it.
Lalo never did shit with it.
And then the bridge, you know what's funny about Lalo with the archives is the bridge, like I kept adding him as a viewer to my channel, and then the bridge kept burning, so that I kept deleting him as a viewer because I didn't want him to like sabotage the channel somehow. I don't know what he could do, but
He won't do anything. Lalo too, you know Lalo. He's like the little timid second generation Mexican immigrant. He's like, I mean, he got his all right. Like no offense, but he did get like hit by Adam, who's scrawny as fuck. Lalo is a big, heavy guy. He could probably take 1 or 2 punches. Let's just be real right here.
yeah.
But, and I'm not any better. Like, 'cause I'm a scrawny ass Hispanic, ironically enough. So to me, that's pretty funny. But yeah. I've been looking to get through your stuff because I know a lot of people like to see a lot of your original stuff, and I know the whole thing with Keemstar and everything. You guys had to private that stuff. So yeah. I'll send you like an email of mine or something.
Yeah, all I need is an email, and you just click like accept access or whatever. And if you do streams, like you can go through every one of them. I have no problem with that. The only thing is, you would want to be careful about your own TOS. But I don't know. Like it's not really a big deal.
There's programs out there nowadays where
most of it is totally fine. It's just occasionally there's an F slur or something. But I would watch that because I've been wanting to go through it, but I haven't got my lazy ass to start it. But if you started it, I would definitely watch.
I mean, at this point, I'm the only one that is actually covering you guys. Like, it's just me and Mr. Deadman. I know, what is it, Joe Sapatoni and Mark Fusion, they mentioned that they may have to pull out because of, I think technically tomorrow is the quote-unquote new rule on YouTube, which doesn't really mean shit.
That you can't clip people? Hi, Jim. I see you back there. Hold on one sec.
No, I think, I'm not sure how it works. I think it's
a classic Reenie.
I think it's more about, like, AI and all that shit. Not actual clipping, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well, thank you for coming up, Spud. It was nice to see you again.
Yeah, same.
Nice to talk to you.
Time. Bye.
Bye. All right, Jim and OPC have been waiting. Okay.
Yeah. I do apologize if that clip was long. It is my video, so I get to make the rules here. But no, yeah. So with the Ava segment of this particular clip that I may or may not have to kind of break up for the rest of this stuff. I'll see what happens if I'm not too lazy, because I know I'm gonna have to censor a lot of things. Or here we go. It's gonna be a long time, baby. All right. But yes. And I think Ava made a very valid point about the whole victim thing, and that if you're willing to sit here and you're willing to go through with it, then yeah, you don't get any point, you don't get any sympathy. And the fact that even Grace was like, yeah, totally fair. And in moments like this, it makes me kind of wonder, like, if Grace was to put in just a bit of effort to just like not mend the bridge, but just kind of like come to a level of understanding with the people, with a lot of the people, you know, whether or not they burn the bridge or she burns the bridge, whoever, not the point. I think she would be much more of a powerhouse. I honestly do. Now, obviously, later on, we got into this whole thing about streaming. As I said, she and Ben are wanting to take a bit of break, which is an interesting thing to say. Right? She wants to do her own little thing. She wants Ben to do her little thing. Then they got the landlord. So it's going to be some interesting content that's going to be developing in the next how many days. Now, that's what the important part comes in. One of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video, and maybe the reason why I got out of my bed and did not take my nap and decided to talk to the Thorps and go on panel. I'm pretty sure this may be maybe the first time that I actually been on their panel. Like, honestly, I've been on I know for a fact that I've been on Reject with the Thorps. I know same for Ruby, but I've never been on the Thorps panel, which is very funny. Truthfully, the Thorps early on did help my channel grow. Yeah, a little bit of a lore fact. Grace saw one of my videos, and that boosted my subscriber base just out of the blue one day. Yeah, a little weird tidbit about that. It's weird to think about that, and here we are now. So as Grace said, obviously after the stream was over, I did directly email DM her. I directly DM Grace about obviously I use a different email rather than using my main email. Right. I was just being smart. So don't take offense to that. With this my backup account, and maybe down the line I am gonna build that up just in case something ever happens. But nevertheless, right? Nevertheless, let me crack my neck. Nevertheless, Grace did give me complete access to a lot of the information that I wanted. So starting, I don't know when, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. It's probably when this video out, so maybe some point Tuesday afternoon, early afternoon, mid afternoon, I will be going through Grace older stream, and I've been watching a little bit. So as I'm after that, right, and when I was given the keys and the access to everything, I did start watching. I went through, found the original first stream that Grace did. Wasn't the stream I was looking for. I was looking for the first thorp family stream or video, but it's perfectly fine if I couldn't get those. I'm not gonna complain. Don't look at a gifted horse in his mouth. But what I got, nevertheless, is what I needed. And honestly, trust me, watching that first stream with a bit of a shell shock. Mostly because when we talk about the thorps, we have a very different perspective about them. I think that's very, very important to bring up anytime when we deal with this kind of stuff. So when I go through their streams on here, and they may watch it, they may not watch it. Obviously, I'm gonna do a video, and I'm gonna go through each of their streams. Yes, I'm gonna go through as much of their streams I can go through. I don't have a set schedule, and I took some time to go outside, touch some grass, do some normie stuff. I kind of realized that eventually it will get to a point where I will be writing a script. But we're gonna move on. When eventually, maybe after the first or second covers of their streams, I will probably make a video trying to describe my plan of operations and how I want to approach this. So essentially, I have now become the equivalent of the Christian historian. Didn't think I'll ever say that. So yeah, I am now the Thorpian historian. Me and Mr. Deadman are the only historians left. And trust me when I say Mr. Deadman's name, that first stream I saw of Grace, just her solo stream, I'm gonna tell you something. That's a lot of names I recognize, and I did not know they've been around that long. But we're gonna keep moving on.
But he's talking about.
So you need to
the
get.
idea is
you
getting
need to
6
get.
people to DC and paying for their travel.
This is what we have to discuss with John. How much is
And housing? In housing, we live there like for
Housing,
a couple weeks or something?
food. I mean,
That's part of the reason I thought you guys might be interested, because if this works out long term, essentially you get free housing, free room and board in DC. But one of the things we talked about is probably better content to be in a more ghetto part of DC. You know, so it might not necessarily be the best neighborhood.
Do you really think Lola is going to come to like the ghetto part of DC for like content?
She agreed, I guess. I guess John called her before he talked to me, and she agreed to do it, but she really didn't want to do it with Grace. She doesn't want it to be a drama fest.
Lo has agreed to move to a shitty house in the hood to renovate it for content.
To do it for 4 days?
I wasn't part of that call, but he said, in the previous call, he said, yeah, Lo's down. But that's why he thought there should be 2 houses.
No way in fucking hell. What?
Well, wait a second.
I mean, I know
Maybe
John
he's
Galt
talking
told
about
you that,
4
but-
days. He's not saying permanent.
4 days? Lo doesn't even like going to the beach. She's gonna
she
go
likes
to a
John.
ghetto house to
She likes John,
renovate a
and
slum apartment
she came from
building?
his jail. I think that
I think
that was
John
just-
is very. I've always said that I think John would have a lot of mass appeal, and he's a very good organizer. I think that's true. I wouldn't like throw shade on him that way, but he hasn't really been able to execute in terms of content on his own channels. And speaking of which, don't we have a bet that we're supposed to adjudicate
Tomorrow,
tomorrow?
July 15th.
How do you-
Yeah.
You
How do
said
you
it's
wanna-
already been adjudicated. You won. Is that right? You proclaimed yourself the winner.
So by the criteria we laid out, yes. But I'm guessing that that criteria is going to be thrown out the window, and we're going to have to renegotiate.
Well,
I don't know.
but I mean,
Well, hang on a second. Hang on a second.
But you're
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I think it's a fascinating idea. So these are currently non-renovated properties? Like, they're just like, can you even walk in them?
No,
Are they safe to be in?
that's what I originally thought. He wanted me to come in and renovate some gutted properties, and he was just trying to get me to do free labor. But no, he's actually going to take properties that are currently being rented and set them aside for you guys, and then you guys will get to renovate, to remodel, I guess, to change the paint, change the furniture, change some things, basic things like that. I don't think he's going to knock out walls or anything. But this is just to get the
idea. But I just think they're. But what I would say is any further conversations would have to take place on stream, not privately, because
I can talk to him about that. Yeah,
I think if I just don't really see the payoff there.
Yeah, so in this particular moment, in this particular case, we're seeing something interesting develop, something that I'm pretty sure how can I say this? If the equivalent of fish tank. Yes, this is basically fish tank if you're asking. And I was very shocked myself. Well, not that I was shocked, right? Because I mentioned something similar along the lines of fish tank. Like, what if we had a fish tank, but for this sector of the internet, right? These people particularly, and you put them together in a room in an apartment. Now, OPC Don, I admittedly did not do a good job explaining the concept or the general idea and how things would work and how they would be, as I would say, the execution of the process. I'm not the only one. Even other chatters were telling me that, OPC Don is not doing a good job. So there's that to think about. Even so, even with OPC Don not doing the best of jobs, right? The best of jobs of not, explaining. Later on, he does bring John Galt in to actually explain. And believe it or not, at this point, I was kind of still stream sniping them, kind of coming down from the high that I had. And from here onward, I would come back later on stream to bring up an idea that I found that I think needed to be brought up because I thought it was a good idea, and I think they kind of agree with me to some extent, or I'm just gonna cope about it. But yeah, they wanted Ruby, Ava, Lo originally in this content house in this part of DC. Now, if you've never been to DC is basically there's either the really rich area, the really poor area, or not really poor, but more of the urban hood area. Lack of a better word, I believe the Baltimore area, right? Because DC is near Maryland, and Baltimore and DC are literally just interconnected. Like, you can literally walk to Baltimore into DC. Yeah, it's an actual thing. You can actually walk to Baltimore into DC. Take that as it is, right? Take that as it is. What's it do? It's very interesting. Very interesting to talk about. Now, again, I was very excited, so that's why later on I would pop back in.
You're not a man of many words, are you?
No, not really. Or maybe once I get comfortable with you, but I'm usually shy around attractive women.
Oh, thank you. Well, okay, so let me see. I'm trying to get to know you. So have you ever been in any shows or movies or anything like that?
No, I just moved out here in January.
Oh, okay. Where were you before?
My office was in Carrollton, Texas, but I lived in Fort Worth for a blue collar job.
Oh, okay. All right. And so, like, have you taken acting classes? Like, this must be scary, like starting a whole new career.
Yeah, I've taken classes for about 2 months. I'm actually setting up my self-tape setup here. I've got 2 lights and then a backdrop that'll be coming down.
To send in audition tapes.
Yes.
What kind of movies do you want to be in?
I want to be like a bad boy type of character,
Oh, bad boy. Like yeah, go ahead. Give me-
anti-hero.
Now, this was a very big surprise to see. If you're not aware who Jim is, Jim was a recurring person in Local Reject. He was somebody that came up onto Domination Doc stream and just kind of talked to him about all type of stuff like relationship and incels and all heap of different matters, which was quite interesting in my honest opinion. Very, very, very dynamic, very avant-garde individual. But I honestly thought it was. I'm gonna be real with you. I did find the flirting between Jim and Grace to be very cute. Oh, like, oh, there's this little, there's our girl. She's having a great time with this random stranger, this Filipino, and I'm like, great. Is this your replacement for Lalo? Is this your replacement? Now, in the reject area, people were, how can I say, debating whether or not that Jim was like some type of method actor and all of this was just one big act. Because if you watch the stream, it was an interesting stream when Jim was kind of going into it emotionally and everything. Because, and I mean this, he was very good at playing a particular role because he said he wants to be an actor. And honestly, if he's just using this as a way to gain like experience as an actor, 10 out of 10. You gotta give the man props where it's needed, right? You gotta give him the props. You gotta give him what he needs. And I was just like, hey, oh, let's go. Now, after the little conversation between between Grace and Jim, there's stuff that involved John Galt, and we will kind of get into that right about now, actually, because that is very important to this final part.
In-house, put you all in the same house. All of you are competing to make your room look better within the 4 walls that you're given. So you may say, I think this room would be better with this, that. Lolo says, I'm going to do my room this way. Maybe someone get creative and do a freak off room.
And what makes you think that any of us girls are qualified to renovate a house?
Well, not renovating a house.
Just renovating. Decoration. Just decoration.
You're not renovating. You're not tearing out anything or anything like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, this is why you need to fire OPC as your hype man, because he presented this to me as if we're taking two slumlord houses and renovating them from scratch. And I was like, that seems like high hopes.
No, I mean, there are TV shows like that, but I'm thinking more just cosmetic. Make this a girly room. Mm-hmm. Make this an LGBT room, as I said, some of the other categories and segments, because I get a lot of people that, and you'll see it on Facebook, that they have.
But I kind of look at you guys with a grin on my face, because Ben and Grace, literally entertainment creator, that I get, they're just like sign up type shit. But like a lot of you, just like you said, there's a lot of money that goes into this shit. There's a lot of concepts that you don't understand, insurance. You could do it ghetto fab, like I said, getting away with it. But this is kind of dreaming / brainstorming meetings that I watch go down. So like you got to get some meat to it. And my first step, John, is if you have the money to afford, get yourself a good production team. Get yourself some motherfuckers that know what they're fucking doing.
People would do it for free. People would do it for free. Like OPC.
And that's what I said. And then you could approach like Ruby and all these other motherfuckers. And here's another thing. You might have to have methadone or on the side
No,
too.
wait a second. Wait a second. Wait.
You
Yeah,
get
Drew.
some of these people involved.
Snafu,
Yeah,
wait,
that's
hang
true.
on a second. What are we talking about with permits here? We're like, let's just say 3 or 4 girls going to a house to collab with a guy and like put up some paint.
Now here we have Junko probably trying to explain the concept that he wants, a sort of content house, the equivalent of what we see with different groups of streamer, right? Because I think a lot of what we're seeing on the internet now is sort of this universe is type of world, or the content house where everybody is in one house and they're all making content, they're all live streaming, and everybody has their fan, and it's just interconnected, right? We see it with OTK. If you want people like Process and Daria, Ice Poseidon, I believe sometimes Baked Alaska did it. I know Ice Poseidon did. I know for 100% fact that Ice Poseidon did do something very similar, and other groups of similar caliber have done similar things of this. And I think we are seeing a move towards that direction. Now, Junko is a more along the line of like a smaller YouTuber, but from what I understand, he has money and he's able to afford it. And though this may be risky business, and that wasn't trying to rhyme that, I would like to see something like this. And honestly, I wouldn't even mind. I wouldn't even mind helping, right? Less for my own personal career or whatever I'm trying to do on YouTube. More like along the line of seeing something happen in real time and seeing how people act in and out of the internet. Because I think to me, it has always intrigued me. I don't know if this stems from my roots of my interest in like things like psychology, or my root in just general human behaviorism, or stuff of that manner, right? You can just imagine of what I'm trying to apply. Even so with that, even so with all of that going on, I still want to see. I guess I would say I still want to see more of this concept. Now, from what I understand, as we currently speak, it is only being done in. It's only a lot of talks have been going on, right? It's only talks, and nothing has been said or is concrete as we currently speak. So, for now, at least, there's no. How can I say? There's no set date. Now, they did mention they are planning to do a bit of a how can I say, a 1 week trial period to see how things go. They want to get the thorp down there. They want Ruby and Ava and Lo actually started within the John Gull area, with I kind of knew for a bit of time because I know Ava mentioned this already. Not Ava, Lo mentioned this already. So this would be an interesting thing to see. Now I'll do a one more clip that deals with OPC Don, and then we'll end the video from there.
Yeah. And what would make it? What is it that's going to make it or break it for you as far as she goes?
That's a great question.
So, so there is still a little bit of a language barrier. Like, I'm not fluent in Spanish. She's not perfectly fluent in English. Mm-hmm. So like sometimes there are things where like I wish I understood. Like I'll probe her. Like, what exactly did you mean by that? Because did you word that way because you don't know the English language well, or is that something I should pick up on? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, because I asked Grace today whether she can conjugate the verb to be, and she said no.
That is true.
So even when you have a fluent speaker, you can play games with language, especially if there's a language gap. That's tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's
Plus,
extremely
you don't know really
pro-Israel.
The culture that much.
Well, my sister-in-law is helping me a lot with that. She's really the one that's pushing it a lot. She's like, you've got to marry this girl. She's wonderful. Like, don't let her go. But I'm trying to not be let that pressure me. Like,
and I think we're just gonna end it off there, right? They just kind of went into talking about OPC's current relationship, that whole situation. A lot of people have been speculating whether or not OPC is in a relationship or not. Personally, let the man be happy. Let him be happy. Let him enjoy his life. Let him be, right? I just don't personally into the community. how can I say, they have more of a vested interest than I would, and I'm just like, it is what it is. So kind of doesn't really affect me as much as people may think. So either way, that is mostly the stream. I think it's probably one of the best streams in a long time, and I'm very glad that I got involved. And I don't know why there's a car alarm going off. I guess that's my sign to say till next time, everybody. God bless you.